Hi guys, here's another video. I've got a long one, I'm afraid. I've got this e-bike which has had new hydraulic brakes fitted, but they didn't change the disc on the back here, and you can see it's been wearing unevenly. The pads have not worn evenly on the disc, as you can see here. It's worn on the end, which resulted in the pads wearing away very quickly. It's been less than 6 months, so we're going to have a look at that today. Okay, here's the disc that should have been fitted, but wasn't. They fitted a disc on the front, but not the back. So first thing I'm going to do is flip this bike upside down. I've removed the battery, which is important, first and foremost, whilst working on it. Now, what I've got to do now is I'll move this stand out of the way. It's got to get rid of these cable ties, which hold the wire for the powered back wheel in place. Obviously I'm going to have to put new cable ties up, so I'm just getting them off, as you can see here. And what I've got to do, I've got to remove the wheel, the back wheel, so I've got to undo this cable. There's a connector just here, just unscrews, as you can see here, little 6-pin connector. Difficult to film and do at the same time. As you can see here, I've undone it. That's the other end there. Okay, so I've got to undo the nut, this nut, and a nut on the other side, which holds the wheel in place. And they've got these footrests attached. So I've got a 17mm socket. Sorry, a 90mm socket, and I'm just going to undo the nut on the one side, as you can see there, the wheel retaining nut, and remove this pedal, and then I'm just going to do the other side, and then remove the footrest on that side also, passenger footrest. Okay, got that out of the way. So it should be just a case of just pushing this S back, the radio back, and lifting the wheel out in theory, but let's see how it goes. So I'm just going to push the S back and lift the wheel out. It's going to wobble it a bit, and out it comes. You see there, so I've got the wheel off. What I've got to do is replace the brake disc. Okay, I just popped that down on the floor, and it's just 6 bolts that hold the disc in place. Just got to get the right Allen key on it. Okay, so here you can see me just undoing the retaining bolts for the brake disc on the rear. It's just 6 of them, and I might have to speed this section up just to save time. Get a little closer look there. Like I said, this brake disc should have been replaced. This is the original brake disc, but when they upgraded the brakes to hydraulic brakes, they replaced the front brake disc. But apparently these rear brake discs were awkward, I'm told. And here you can see I've removed the 6 retaining bolts. So it just should be a case of lifting the disc off, as you can see there, which is simple. Not sure why they were stuck with that, and you can just see the wear there on the back. You can see the brake pads were wearing against the disc, the metal. It was metal to metal. Put that to one side. This is a new brake disc, and you can see here it's arrowed to show you which the wheel rotation. So this is the way the wheel rotates. So I'm just going to fit that, and the wheel does rotate in this direction. So it's just a matter of fitting the new brake disc, slightly bigger than the previous, than the original, and just what I'm going to do is put the retaining bolts in, but I'm just going to put a little bit of super glue on the end. I'm going to need thread lock, so I'm just going to put a bit of super glue on the end of the bolts, on the end of each bolt and tighten them in so they don't unscrew by themselves. And I might have to speed this section up also because there's quite a few. Well, there's 6 bolts. You can see the other one. I'm just putting a bit of, you can see a bit of thread lock on the bolt anyway, but I'm just going to put a tiny blob of super glue on the end just so it doesn't unravel, and just tighten that in. Like I said, I'll have to speed this section up just to make the video shorter. Okay, that's the last tightening. I've got them all in. I'm just doing the final tightness. Don't want to overdo it. Okay, so that's the brake disc securely fitted. The new brake disc fitted there. Let's give you a close up of that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the brake caliper, because you can see here the pads are worn unevenly inside and they're going to get in the way, so I'm going to remove the brake caliper from the rear before I fit the wheel. And it's just 2 bolts and it comes away, as you will see here, 2 retaining bolts and the caliper comes away. Now I'm able to fit the wheel. So it's got this little log inside which is going to be facing downwards. You see there, just stops the wheel from, well, it's supposed to help stop the wheel from moving, like a locator. So it's just reverse as before, move the derailleur out of the way and refit the wheel, as you can see there. And just give you a close up there. That's how it slots in with the locator, with the grey locator there, facing downwards or upwards in this case. Okay, so that wheel's unsecure. Just bang it down, just make sure it's fully seated. Okay, I'm going to fit these passenger pegs back on. Foot pegs for the rear passenger. It's not a standard fixture. These have been added, so I'm just going to refit these as they were on previously. The owner of this bike likes to carry passengers apparently, so I'm just tightening that up here, and I've just got to do the same on the other side. Just give you a close up there. You can see the wheels nice and tight on this side with the rear passenger foot pegs, and I've tightened this side up also to show you what that looks like close up. Okay, now I've got to reconnect the connector for the powered rear wheel, and it just screws together like so. It'll only fit in one way and it's arrowed. You just press it together and tighten the connector. And now that I've done that, I'm just going to secure the cable to the underside so it doesn't catch on anything. This is where the power goes to the back wheel, so I'm just going to secure this. I haven't got any black cable ties, so you can see me just putting white cable ties on. I'm securing them to the underside and making sure that they're not going to catch or rub on anything, otherwise that will cause a problem. And I'll just snip these ends off, and because I haven't got any black cable ties, I'm just going to cover it with black tape. Cover the cable ties with black tape so it doesn't look so obvious. And that's done. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Just give you a close up here. See, it's nice and secure. Just make sure that this cable doesn't rub on anything, otherwise it will cause a problem. So it's clear of the disc and everything, and the tyre and everything when it's secured underneath. Okay, let's flip this bike round. because I'm going to fit the brake caliper and pads. So here you can see me just removing the retaining clip for the split pin clip for the holds the brake pads in place. Just got to get that out of the way, just straighten it out like so, and that should just withdraw like so. That's the split pin. And I'm just going to remove the anti-rattle clip from the center there, get that out of the way, and I'm just going to remove the outer brake pad to show you here. Inner brake pad, sorry, you see it's been wearing on metal to metal. These brake pads have not been in there 6 months and they've worn out already, and they've been wearing unevenly because the disc was too small. Here's the other one, there's the outer brake pad. Same thing, it's just worn on, it's not worn evenly on the disc, and that's why they've worn away so quick. Okay, I'm just gonna undo the brake lever and undo the brake reservoir. Just tilt that upwards to the vertical position like so. You can see a bit of brake fluid in there. I'm just going to put this syringe which I've knocked up to collect the brake fluid, because I've got to retract the brake pads, brake discs, sorry, the brake discs pistons. I'll show you here. Just give the unit a clean up, get rid of all that brake dust. See, you've got it nice and clean there. So I've retracted the pistons, and now I've just got to fit the brake pads. You can see here, that's the kit. You got the brake pads there, then you've got the split pin which holds it in, and you've got the anti-rattle clip, stops the brake pads from rattling as you're riding along. So it's just a matter of fitting them in like so. The rattle clip goes in between the brake pads, and obviously there's a hole which the split pin goes through. You've got to line that up also. I'll show you that the best I can. Just going to put the other brake pad on top like so. And that's it, that's how it fits in. So it's just a matter of fitting that into the brake caliper. Difficult to film, hand in the way. And this is what it looks like when it's inserted. The brake pads with the anti-rattle clips fitted in the correct way. I'll show you that the best I can. So all I've got to do now is put the split pin back in. The retaining split pin goes through the whole thing. You see there, it goes through the brake pads and the anti-rattle clip. And now that that's in, just got to use these big pair of pliers just to secure it so it doesn't come out. Just going to open the split pin so it stays in position with these wide nose pliers. You see there, just securing that there. You see there, best view I can give you, and that's in. So that's the brake pads fitted, and there's a gap in between them. Just highlight that for you. That's where the brake disc goes. So I've got to slot this whole unit over the brake disc, with the brake disc going in between the brake pads. Like you see here, I'll just show you the best I can, film wise. I'm just putting the brake caliper on with the brake discs going between the brake pads. And that's pretty much in place. Just give you a close up best I can. You can see the disc in the middle if I move the wheel. And that's sound. So all I've got to do now is just fit the retaining bolts. You can see here, I'm not going to tighten them fully because this is a sliding caliper, so I'm just going to tighten them up, but not fully. You can see me just knocking them down, but not fully, because what I've got to do is, let me just show you up here. I'm just going to pump the brakes and just expel whatever air is in the system, as well as homing the brake pads up against the disc, get rid of all the movements. See there, and I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'm going to do is fully tighten up the caliper retaining bolts now, because I'm happy that everything's in place. Just fully tighten that up, and I'm going to go back to the brake reservoir to show you here. Just topping up the fluid, and just putting the brake reservoir retainer cap back on, which is on the brake lever. And just press it a few times, make sure it's nice and tight, which it is. So I'll just clean up this mess here. Okay, let me just show you the old brake pads and discs, what I've just removed. You can see here the brake pads are worn unevenly because the disc was not the right size. They should have been replaced with the calipers, but they weren't, and you can see there. And let me just show you the disc. That's how the brake pads were running on the disc, not fully, and it's worn half of it away. You see there, that area which I've highlighted there was not making contact with the brake pads, and that's why the brake pads wore away so quickly. Just show you the other side. That side was metal to metal, and you can see on the brake disc where it was just grinding metal to metal. Okay, so like I said, that's the brake pads and this one I removed. I took it outside, just give it a try, and it seems to be working fine. So I'm just going to take it for a couple of miles down the road for a test ride, which I have done, just to make sure it's running fine. I've been testing the brakes in the meantime as I've been riding along, and it seems to be fine. And let me just show you here. That's the wear in the 2 miles I've travelled, and that seems to be working fine. It's covering the entire surface of the brake disc that it's supposed to be making contact with. And I've replaced the front brake pads also, but that's on another video. So with that, thanks for watching once again, and please subscribe.